Explain with examples macronutrients, micronutrients, beneficial nutrients, toxic elements and essential elements. So students, now the nutrients which is required for the plant for its normal growth and development, they have been classified into different types like macronutrients, micronutrients, beneficial, toxic, essential. So let us learn about these things now. The first one is a macronutrient. So plants absorb varieties of nutrients, but there are certain nutrients which is required in a larger amount, and they are generally present in all plant tissues in more than, that is, the amount will be more than 10 millimole per kg of one dry matter. So every plant tissue will be having these macronutrients in larger amount, and these larger amount nutrients are hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen, along with that phosphorus, potassium. So all these nutrients are required in larger when compared to other nutrients, and they are present in almost all the plant tissue. So we call them as macronutrients. Macro means they are required in large amount. And the next one is micronutrients. The name itself says micro means small. So that means these nutrients are required in a trace amount. So that means they are required in a very small amount. And generally they are found in the plant body less than 10 millimole per kg of dry matter. They are required, they are essential, but only in a small or a minute quantity. So examples of such micronutrients are cobalt, manganese, zinc, etc. So other examples include iron, boron, zinc, copper, manganese is here. So all these are the examples of micronutrients. Coming to the beneficial nutrients, they are the plant nutrients. They may not be essential but are beneficial to plants. So these nutrients, they are not essential. That means they are not compulsorily required. Plant has to take these nutrients. Without this, they may not survive. So essential nutrients are those which are involved in the metabolic and the physiological reactions. So beneficial nutrients, they are not involved in the metabolic or physiological reactions compulsory. But if these ions are present inside, they can be an added advantage for the plant growth and development. So such nutrients are called beneficial nutrients. Example, sodium, silicon, cobalt, selenium. So these are beneficials to the plants. Next one, toxic element. So the micronutrients are required by the plants in small quantity. So as we learnt, micro means small. They are present in a trace amount, and the plant requires this in a smaller quantity, but they are essential. Any excess of these nutrients may induce toxicity in the plant. So if these micronutrients concentration increases in the plant, they can become toxic. They can affect the function of the plant or a cell, and they can disturb the physiological or metabolic reactions. So such nutrients are called as toxic element. So they are required in smaller amount. If the amount increases, if it accumulates more than what is required, these can become toxic. For example, when manganese is present in larger amount. So manganese is an example for a micronutrient. So it is required in small amount. But when the same manganese is present in larger amount, it induces deficiency of iron, magnesium, calcium and interferes with their metabolism. So when the manganese concentration increases, it leads to the deficiency of the other nutrients which is required for the plant, like iron, magnesium, calcium, and they also interfere with metabolic reactions. So based on the functions, requirement, amount, we have classified the nutrients into macronutrients, one which is required in larger quantity, micronutrients, one is required with trace amount or lesser quantity, beneficial nutrients, one which is not essential, but if it is present, it is an added advantage to the plants, toxic. When the concentration of micronutrients increases more, then it can be a toxic. Now coming to the last one, that is essential nutrients or essential element. Now these elements are absolutely necessary for the plant growth and reproduction. So if the elements are not present, then it leads to deficiency, it leads to disorder. So such kind of elements which is compulsory required for the plant to normally grow, develop and reproduce. So such elements are called as essential elements, and these are broadly classified into two categories, macronutrients and micronutrients. So all macro and micronutrients come under as essential elements, and these elements cannot be replaced. It is compulsory required. Nitrogen means there is no other alternate element for nitrogen. Nitrogen is only required. So these are the different types of nutrients which is required by the plant for the survival, reproduction, growth and development.